You are listening to the Bright Life Podcast, all about ways to stay inspired, chase your dreams, and find more gratitude in the highs and lows of the journey. I'm your host, Jessica Johnson. I'm a business owner, a part-time digital nomad, a self-growth junkie, a believer in other big-hearted women, and am all about sharing tips, tricks, lessons learned, and encouragement so we can all live our biggest, brightest lives. You ready? Let's do this. Hello, welcome to today's episode all about deciding. So in playing with the theme for the next few weeks, I'm going to be touching on a topic that's in my brand new book, Your Bright Life, which is all about getting clear on what you want, overcoming self-doubt, and bringing your dreams to life, whatever your version of your brightest life looks like, how to get clear on that, and then how to go after it. And each chapter walks you through one stage of the creation process of bringing a dream to life. So last week, we talked about dreaming and how to even get clear on what the biggest, brightest version of your life even looks like. So if you haven't been sure of what that would be, or if it's been a while since you felt connected, we talk about how to get back to that place where you have this vision that excites you and makes you wake up with so much energy for it. The second chapter and this episode is all about deciding. So in the book, you get clear on how to actually make a decision. So if you've ever been in that situation where you're like, I have a few different options and I have no idea which one to choose, or my gut is pulling me in one direction, but my head is talking me into another. How do I decide? How do I get clear? How do I cut through all the noise out there? That's what that chapter is about. And this episode won't cover what's in the book. So if you're interested, go grab the book and you can read it. But I wanted this episode to complement it and to give you another little nugget on the theme of deciding. So I have some ideas here. I've also done a lot of other podcast episodes about how to get clear on what you want and kind of identify like what you really want to go after. But this one, I want to take it another direction. The idea that kept coming to mind is, have you ever thought about what a gift it is if you do know what you actually want? So I know a lot of times we talk about like figuring it out and identifying what you want, but I think there's a conversation that needs to be had around what a gift it is if you have something that you're clear on, and maybe you're trying to talk yourself into it or out of it, or you're in that kind of fog of decision making. But I want to offer you another perspective. It is such a blessing to be able to look at your life and say, I actually know what I really want. Like maybe there's a hard decision you need to make, or a step that feels scary, or maybe you're looking at an investment or something that you need to do that gives you all the feels and makes you want to stand where you are before taking action. But can you shift your perspective to think about, you are one of the lucky ones who knows what she wants for this next chapter, who knows what she wants out of her career or a relationship or her health or where she wants to live, whatever that thing is that's coming to mind for you. And it's almost a waste then, isn't it, when you know there's people out there who are not sure what they want, who can't decide, who have never felt this passion or zest towards what they actually want. If you don't take knowing what it is and act on it, like you have been given this beautiful gift of clarity and knowing what you truly deep down want to go after. So I think it's kind of knowing that that is a privilege and that is a gift and that's an honor. And for you, the step then becomes, how do I help myself move into a place of action and empowerment? Because I've been there, right? I'm not sharing this advice as someone who doesn't know anything about this. I absolutely know all that comes from taking a decision. You know, even just this week, I invested in something that felt scary and stretchy to me, but what I thought about is, who will I become from this investment, from this dollar amount I put in? What will I gain from this? And for me, it felt like so much more, so disproportionate for who I could become with this investment, that helped me move forward and take action, knowing it was more of an investment right? Like even in the stock market, you put a little money in and then it grows over time. So sometimes investments are like that. You're like, oh, I got to put this money in, but what it will become is so much greater. Buying a house, a lot of money goes out of your account, but what that can give you in terms of safety and security and comfort and a lifetime of memories, let alone what you could one day sell it for, is so much greater than that money coming out of your account that day, So that's the first thing that I would really look at there is like, what do you need? If you know what you want, what do you need to feel safe taking action? Do you need more information? Do you need to reach out to someone and ask some questions? Do you need to really clearly look at what the investment is compared to the long-term gain and benefit and what your future and life could become? Do you need to give yourself a small reward after and just acknowledge that this is scary for me? I'm putting myself out there. I am moving towards something that I want, and that's freaking scary. So maybe after you think about who you'll be calling on the phone or what you'll be doing, or you plan to go out and treat yourself to a special iced coffee or something like that that just makes you feel good and happy in your day. Maybe you'll be snuggling your loved ones or your babies, things like that are like, okay, I'm going to take this scary action, but I can also manage my nervous system's response by giving it this bit of comfort. What is that thing for you? So what is the thing that you're thinking of and you're like, I know I really want this? And then 2, how can you help yourself to take action and to move towards that thing, to take a step toward it? And maybe for you, your first step is even getting clear on what that step is. Maybe you have to ask yourself, what is one action I can take to move towards that life I want? Because if there's anything I've learned, it's that a lot of times our discomfort and our angst is from when we're not moving, when we're staying still and stagnant instead of taking action towards what we want. And if you can just get out of that space by moving toward what you want, by taking an action in some way, whether it's signing up for the course or booking the ticket or writing the first chapter or reaching out to someone for more information or questions, that's enough to get you moving, and immediately you start to feel better because your body and your brain are signaling to you that you're on the right path again, versus staying stuck in something that you've outgrown. So that's something I think to look at is like, you know what you want, that's a gift, that you may have some discomfort around it, but you can manage the discomfort of moving forward. Can you manage the discomfort of staying in a life you've outgrown though? Can you manage the discomfort of staying somewhere that you know you no longer belong? Can you manage the discomfort of knowing what you want and being 80 years old one day and looking back and being like, I knew what I want and I didn't even go for it? I don't think so. I think that discomfort is so much greater than the discomfort of taking action today and of doing whatever you need to do with all the resources you have to make that feel a little bit more comfortable, right? Think about it this way too. The worst thing that can happen is you end up right back where you are. And that, not to say that in like an insulting way, I don't mean that at all in that kind of way, but I read that once in Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek, where he said he had all the reasons to stay with his steady career track and to not make waves and to not go do, the things he was passionate about. But he had this epiphany of the worst thing that happens if all goes wrong, if he lost all his money, if he was a complete failure, is he would just go back to what he was doing before. And so for him, that really helped clarify things because he realized if the worst place I could end up is where I already am and where I'll continue to stay if I don't take action, I might as well take action, right? Because the odds of something improving are so much greater, and the cushion and fallback is just my day-to-day life, which I'm already managing. So that can really help too, of like, it might be a little bit uncomfortable to take that action and to do something you've never done before and to feel the risk and all the butterflies that come with that. But guess what? At the end of the day, you already know what the worst case scenario is. You already know what you'll be back to. And chances are that's not what's going to happen. My friend Keisha has this great saying that's like, yes, it could go wrong, but what if it's even better than you imagine, which is almost always the case. I know for me with entrepreneurship, I had this vision before I left my 9 to 5 that everything could just fall apart immediately. And what I learned when I got into it is that's so not the case. You have every single day after day after day to make iterations, to make changes when you need to find a way to make income and clients and test different strategies, that it's never like this all or nothing, black or white type of thing. More often, it's that you get out there and you figure something out and you tweak another thing and you find your way to your perfect next chapter, your humans you want to serve, the business you want to create, the future that you are building. Okay? A last little quote that I'll leave you with that really touches on this is from my friend Susie. So I've got a lot of good girlfriends with their quotes and kind of mic drops, but Susie says the hardest part of manifestation is saying yes when the thing that you prayed for looks you right in the face. How true is that? When she said that, I think it was even just an offhand remark on Instagram or something, and I was like, I need to write this down. This is a golden nugget, because how true is that, where all of us do this, where we say, if only I knew, or at least a lot of us do, right? Like I certainly do. If only I knew this, if only I could do this, man, I'm praying for this opportunity where I can, And then you get an opportunity, someone comes into your life that can teach you that thing. Maybe you see a flyer or a bulletin for that thing you've been wanting to do. Maybe you get invited on a date. I don't know. It can apply to so many areas. And you think to yourself, dang, I can't do this thing. But in reality, that is what you prayed for and what you asked for. And it's inviting you to take action. And the hardest step is taking that action and saying yes when that thing you prayed for and wished for and asked for and wanted a solution for looks you right in your face. So I'll let you end this episode thinking about, what is that thing for you? What is the step that you can take? And what is your answer? And before we close out today's episode, I have to tell you one thing. My program, Bright Life Biz, is open now. It's enrolling, where you learn how to build a copywriting business over the next 8 weeks for more freedom and fulfillment as your own boss. So you learn everything you need to know, no matter how much experience you're starting with. You learn the writing and marketing side, and you also learn how to get clients and build a business. And you also get a ton of personalized mentorship and feedback with me, because I think that's the best way for people to grow, is to have someone actually weighing in on their work and helping them build that portfolio, versus searching through internet articles online where you don't even know if the stuff's true or not, right? And so if you are interested, spaces are limited, so I can provide that custom support to everyone. So make sure you jump in at brightlifebiz.com. Would be honored to build your dream online business with you. And remember, I'm bringing you experience from corporate. I have 15 years of experience now leading content strategy for global brands, mentoring and hiring writers inside corporate America, going out and building my own business. I have a journalism degree. I've been published in HuffPost and Ad Age, and get to transfer all of those 15 years of lessons learned and what works and what doesn't to you, so you can get there faster and we can have just a lot more fun along the way and get more resources and freedom and flexibility into the hands of women, where they can use it for themselves, their families, their communities, and just make our whole world a bit brighter, right? So that is open now, only for the next week. So jump on in today if you're interested, and shoot me a DM if I can answer any questions for you. I am at Hi Jessica Johnson on Instagram, or you can also find me on my website, hijessicajohnson.com. Thank you so much for listening in. If this episode resonated with you, I have something you are going to love. Check out brightlifepodcast.com, where you can download a free Bright Life Biz Starter Kit, full of the steps that helped me go from a 9-to-5 to starting a business, creating more freedom, and finding fulfillment as my own boss. I hope it supports and inspires you further. Thank you so much for being here, and I will chat with you again next week.